So, start out 2-goal lead again, lose the 2-goal lead, get the 2-goal lead back, and final score 5-4. Now, I must accept responsibility because, as Pat Brennan can attest in our group chat, we discussed us exploding for 4 goals. And then I said, yeah, and that'll be the match. We lose 5-4. And that has been screenshotted. Oh, God. So I'm going to go long-winded to start because I feel it's necessary. No one is absolving Yabstam of all criticism, right? I don't think there's a difference between wanting to fire him and wanting to absolve him of everything. No one's doing that. Tonight is equally his fault as it is the player's fault. You have to adjust tactically. I know it's not. Is it the glare off my head?
No, it's my lights.
You mother.
He finally got his camera working.
Oh,
there we go.
Yes, the darkness.
Dealing with the guys he dealt that were gone. Add Cameron to that. Cameron is not vaccinated. We knew that going in. Weird week. No Moderita. He did what he thought was right. Right. You go with a 3-5-2, 5-3-2. At times you put more guys in the midfield. At times you go to a back five, try to hold possession, try to play a little bit of low block when you're in your own final third. Just didn't work. But you have to adjust. You have to adjust on the fly, and that's something that he has not done well so far in MLS as a manager. But the players have got to be better, man.
I'm gonna cut you off. Yeah, you're right, but what does he have to put in the damn game?
Nick fucking Hagelin. By the way, can everybody shut the fuck up?
Patterson.
Can we shut up about Nick Hagelin being good? He's such a good guy. It's so hard for me to say this because he's a good guy. He's not an MLS caliber player anymore.
He's 70th minute when you're trying to defend a bunch of crosses coming across. I mean, the guy can win the ball out of the air, but that's what he's good for. He's not good for anything else.
Well, and I mean, the first goal across. Why is he trying to stick his foot up in the air? Jump, man. You're tall. You have a decent vertical leap. Jump. They just looked like they just didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And that's, again, partly on the manager. Should we fire him? What are we doing? Are we going to do this after we lose every match? We're going to fire the Yabstam after we lose every match?
Yeah, of course we are.
God, it's annoying. It's such a Cincinnati thing, too. Oh, it didn't go according to plan. You can say that we were beating shitty teams. We were on a 4-game unbeaten streak because we beat shitty teams, and we were playing against shitty teams. Columbus with 10 men is not shitty. I'm tired of hearing that. Houston's not shitty. We got a result out of that. Toronto just got done housing 2 of the best teams in the league. We beat them. I don't understand what we're doing. After every match, we're firing the manager.
You want me to chime? Not really up to you. I'm gonna chime in, and I'll say this, man. I grow progressively tired of our fan base, and mainly it's social media, right? That's my fault, right, for actually paying attention to it. I'll own that, but I've said this for years. I've said it behind the scenes, man. And the first match I attended for FC Cincinnati was year 1. Picked up scouts and tickets, went down. I kind of looked around, and you guys, I probably should never say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The fan base is based upon the guys that never played sports, the girls that never played sports, the guys that were picked last, and now they felt a part of something. And Travis is going to shout at you, the guys that weren't tall enough to ride the rides at Kings Island.
Fuck you.
I'm not trying to be a dick, but it's a fact. And it's not mean if it's true. And I'm just so fucking tired of this and that and this weird subtle flex because I don't want to say you don't understand the game, you don't watch the game. I'm not going to be the Yabstam of that and say that, but Jesus, it just goes, it gets so old of the same song and dance. Pick a fucking side. You can't beat on your chest 1 minute and then the next minute cry wolf because something happened. We'll get into this early, but blaming Vermeer for half those goals, we just said it, who was in front of him? Let's look at this for a second. You've got Hagelin, we've already hit on. Pedersen, you've already hit on. You've got Kubo Yellow Kubo from
Sure.
the Card King. And I don't blame him wholeheartedly on that because he's playing out of position. You're asking a guy that was a forward to play the 6 with literally one defender behind him, 1.5. Literally. Like, think about your back line. Zhao, what did he play before this year? Offense. You know,
Yeah,
Castillo,
dude, it's a shit roster. It's a shit roster put together. And when we're pressed because we don't have, I mean, we're exposed when we don't have depth, right? Because you're relying on guys like Hagelin, you're relying on guys like Pedersen, guys that when you watch them play, you're like, holy shit, do you even know what's going on in this game? They're not. Pedersen was not up to game speed in any way, shape, or form.
No.
Hagelin again, like we talked about, he's a 70, 75-minute sub when you're protecting a 1-goal lead. Don't make any jokes about protecting leads.
With people around him, though, right?
Right.
Around him. He is not your centerpiece center back.
It just shows you how inept the guys that we have had in the past are and how valuable Cameron is. And you don't blame Jeff Cameron for not being there. All right. If Jeff Cameron blows his ACL out tomorrow, he's not going to be there. So don't say, oh, he should have done this. He should have done that. He should have been there. There's going to be games he's not going to be there. There's going to be games Lucho's not going to be there. And what we've seen with this team is when Cameron's not there, the defense is shit. When Lucho's not there, the offense is inept. I mean, that's just where we are. And I don't know who's to blame for that, but I seriously doubt it's the coach. And don't give me this shit like, oh, well, we could give it to some other coach and he'd get a result out of it. I mean, that's kind of a bunch of bullshit too. I mean, I don't know. It's frustrating as hell to watch for sure. But at the end of the day, you got to look at yourself. To your point, Nate, you've got forwards that are playing defensive midfielders. You've got wingers that are playing right back. You've got a roster that is without, 4 starters. What do you think was going to happen? I mean, I don't know. We shouldn't have lost this game, but at the same time, if you go back and look at it, it doesn't surprise me that we did.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me based on who we had there.
I don't know. Like, I agree. Shouldn't have lost the game. It's on Yop. It's on Gerard. It's on the players. It's on Jeff. It's on Carl. It's on everybody involved with the club. Yeah. Like, it's an all-encompassing thing. But most losses are we going to fire everyone after we lose every time? Like,
well, that's what's chic, man.
Remember like wishful thinking was playoffs. Like, that was wishful thinking going into the season.
Roster, like with the complete roster,
but people were like, we'd be happy if we were like close,
competitive
to the playoff line, right? Well, they still are. They have Atlanta coming in Wednesday, who are very beatable. Atlanta's in shambles. They have no idea what they're doing with Joseph Martinez.
Hey, while you're saying that, Cameron will be fresh Wednesday. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Fair point.
Look, Kubo is out on suspension now. Frankly, others are higher on him than I am. His recklessness is fucking annoying.
It's getting a little old. It really is.
There's no need for that tackle there.
No, man. Like,
he's going into the teeth of defense, although, given how they played tonight, may have been useful. But no, it's not needed there. His recklessness is not needed. That's not a tactical foul. That's you being beat and you making a harsh decision. And then I don't know what you want him to do.
You're right with that, but like, again, he is a winger, second striker playing the 6.
Yeah.
Like, you can't expect him at this point in his career to be like, no one a tactical foul is. He's been really good about it to this point this year. But right now, like, what do you expect?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. Like, it just, like, I get it, but like, to be angry about it is a fault of, like, God, like, it sucks to say this, but the original roster build is still fucking haunting us. And you can't get around it. Like, if we had more roster flexibility, or some of the guys we brought in to play a role, we're a little more adept to handle some of this stuff. But in this case, like, who did Stom substitute tonight? Who came in? Vasquez?
Right. To your point, Nate, let's just say we wake up tomorrow and we fire Stom. What the hell about this team changes? Nothing.
Nothing. It gets worse.
Nothing's going to change about this team.
It's worse.
Yeah, right. Because now you got a new system, a new coach, all new stuff to try to implement. You still got shit contracts you got to get rid of. It's what it is.
I mean,
one thing, not to cut you off, one thing I will say tactically that I'm not enjoying about Yapstam right now, he needs to get Lucho on the ball centrally more. Lucho is having to find the game. And you don't want your 10 to do that. You want the game to find your 10 and then him be able to play with it, right?
Yep.
He's having to go sideline to sideline, go way too deep in the midfield, get him on the ball centrally, and then let Brenner run off of him, which they had some success tonight, but it's not done nearly enough. I just don't get the people that want to tactically question him. Like, well, why would you put more people in the midfield? They tried to put 5 in the midfield at a lot of points tonight. It didn't work. So then they tried to go back 5 more than put 5 in the midfield. It didn't work. They tried to swing Viacia to the right side and go back 4 at times. That didn't work. Part of the issue is those guys have not played a ton together on the back line. Chemistry matters, right?
Haven't played together or haven't played.
Right. But, we talk about a second striker playing a 6 and guys playing out of position. And some of that goes on Gerard. If you don't miss on the camo signing, you have a 6.
Is there
but you're also not going to hit on everything. You're not going to hit on everything either,
Correct.
Travis. I mean,
Correct.
we can be critical and say, yeah, you swung and you missed, but he knocked it out of the park with Barrial. You know what I mean? That was a guy when he came in, we were all kind of like, what? And I mean, he's one of our best players at this point, right? He's one of the guys we look to make a difference. So, I mean, I look at what Nykamp's done, and there's certainly been mistakes. I like to think that those mistakes are later in the game. Probably his most recent mistake has been camo, 100%, and that is a big miss because when Frankie left, it magnified that miss, right?
Yep.
And whether we were expecting that to happen or not, it's kind of where we at, which is why, I'd like to see maybe somebody brought in or a change made there sooner in this window is later. Or sooner than later in this window. But I mean, I don't know. I'm still willing to be patient with him just because of some of the mess that he inherited. But sure, he's missed, but he's also hit on some stuff. So yeah, I'm on the fence about him, honestly. I mean, I'm not going to defend him till I die. And I'm also not going to kick him to the curb. He's done some good stuff lately. He's got 2 or 3 more decisions to make that he needs to hit out of the park.
Yeah. He needs a few pieces. I mean, you could look at it, Barrial, Viacia, even Brenner tonight. Like, Brenner's taking a lot of shit and a lot of heat. And, like, he created 2 goals tonight, scored 2 goals, and created a third is probably the right way to say it. But there's pieces that I love, but there's of a starting 11, you really have 7 out of 11.
Yeah.
It's probably a safe number that, like, the other 4, if they're league standard.
Does that assume you're putting Kubo somewhere where he belongs?
I excluded Kubo.
My wife's on her way home.
Okay.
Oh God, hurry up, guys. Hurry. She's on her way home.
Trouble.
Oh yeah, by the way, while she's on here, while she's watching, I texted, we have our best friends and I text Nate this too, and I'll tell everybody. After Brenner scored the back heel, I told everyone, like, my wife's gonna get pregnant tonight, and I'm naming the baby Brenner.
Yeah,
that's what's gonna happen.
We asked for
not
video.
anymore. You did. But yeah, I agree with Nate. Like, Atanga shouldn't be relied on to be your starting left winger. Kubo should not be your holding midfielder. Jao shouldn't be, and my wife just said not, so womp womp womp. Jao should not be your starting right back, and you don't really have another holding midfielder. Like, you have Cruz, but is he really a starter?
He's a great depth piece, but he's not even starting for Costa Rica.
Yeah,
he hasn't played yet in the Gold Cup. Like, and you didn't even get to keeper. Like, and I'm high on Vermeer for what he does. But like, we have. I'll say this right now. What was the last great keeper this club has had? Like, you could
Mitch.
For a game?
Great.
Yeah.
For a game?
Right.
Like, if he was that good, he would have got he wouldn't have got embarrassed with Atlanta United too, or at least got a little bit of run with Atlanta.
Evan Newton.
He wouldn't have lasted one season, then got cut, and then went to coaching.
Evan Newton's probably our best keeper ever, right?
Probably. I mean, you could arguably say Spencer Ritchie, just the same. And that's not a shot at them, right? That's not a shot at them, but like that's it. Like, that is the problem.
Look, I think we all have defended Vermeer. Like, he does some things well. Tonight is inexcusable.
Now,
He did lots of things
his
tonight
mistakes
that
got
are
exposed.
just inexcusable.
He has 3 to 5 mistakes a match.
Yep.
And how do they get exposed? Do they get exposed? But he also has 2 to 4 moments of like commitment that like that penalty wasn't a penalty. Like I don't like it wasn't a penalty. Toy was diving before he even got hit, and then Vermeer got hit in the head with his knee, and they don't even review it. Like,
yeah, that's not. That's not a PK. Like, you
No,
guys
it's
can
not.
argue with me all day long.
It's
He's
not.
going down the entire time. There's
He went down
minimal
before he got touched.
contact. It's not a PK. Also, the first goal shouldn't have been a goal. Zhao gets run into by the referee, or you can argue Zhao ran into the referee. It does not matter.
not
Everybody stopped.
The
Everybody
rule
stopped and
is
looked.
Play stops. The play is blown dead. That is a new rule, by the way, where the play is blown dead and you restart play. You don't continue. The referee was terrible. And Steven even disagreed with me on this. The card on Viacia is not a card. People come through the backs of strikers 35, 40 yards away from goal all the time.
What happened to Brenner how many times tonight? He didn't get one single fucking
Not
ball.
one. It's not even a card. Especially on your first challenge. That's his first foul. And it's a card? What are we doing? Like, pro referees and MLS referees, like, they're so card happy. It's disgusting. Like, let the game play. And then when they let the game play, they lose control of it because they don't know how to control a game. It ruins viewing for people that want to watch the match. Like, 2 goals directly tied to that referee.
Yep.
Directly tied to that referee.
Without a doubt.
That does not excuse.
And one to Joe Zhao.
Yep. That does not excuse anything that happened tonight. It should have been 3 points against really all odds, right? Like, against all odds should have been 3 points. Like, Montreal, and I keep hearing that Montreal was down 5 guys. Now, Montreal's depth is way better than our depth, right? They have good depth. We don't. So, yeah, our missing 5 guys is a bigger deal than their missing 5 guys. They're playing at home for the first time in over a year. They're playing in front of 5,000 people. Short week.
We find out on Wednesday
Right.
we're going there.
Everything was stacked against us. They had a chance to win the game, and they didn't. And that's on them. But the refereeing, man, like, I played for a long time. I don't remember, like, youth referees being this bad. And maybe that's just because I'm old and I don't remember. But, God, it was terrible. And it's been terrible. The crew match was terrible. Like, the crew should have been down to 9 men shortly after they were down to 10.
Somebody said it, Travis, that, MLS wants to pump their chest and they want to be one of the big, they want to be one of the top 5 leagues in the world or whatever. The thing that's holding them back at this point is the quality of the refereeing, because the matches are so inconsistent. You don't know what you're going to get, not even match to match. You don't even know what you're going to get fucking minute to minute. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, one time a guy, commits a foul 35 yards away, comes through the back of somebody. Okay, we got a quick restart. We go on. Next time it happens innocuously away from the game, no big deal. All of a sudden he's going to pull out a yellow because he feels like it's the time to pull out a yellow. The dive. I don't even understand. Do we have VAR? Because there wasn't a person that watched the replay of that didn't see him start to dead fish that shit. The minute Vermeer was 6 yards away from him, he's like, okay, I'm going to take him. And then he kicked the keeper. He fucking kicked the keeper.
Yeah, knees the keeper in the head.
Well, like,
and somehow, right.
Viacia's goal, he was offside. That he wasn't offside. He was fucking nowhere near.
Right. Flag goes up, flag goes down.
Like,
okay.
on. Like, he had like a 5-yard run up from behind the defender, and he's still offside. And like, what the fuck are you doing?
So what do we do, guys? I mean, where do we go? Where do we go from here? Like,
well,
okay, we've kind of already seen the reaction, right? The reaction is tear it all down. These people suck. All these people need to be we need to never play this goalie again. We need to never play this person again.
Let me chime in, because I actually thought about this, because when the match ended, I kind of like, I didn't want to, like, there was like 75 posts on Twitter I wanted to like fire back at. And I'm like, is it probably the good idea? Like, unlike somebody, I don't know, named Clay, I try to avoid dumb shit on Twitter and having hot takes, because I like to think through things. But the one thing I'll say is really the pressure is on Stam and Nykamp right now. And when I say that, let me kind of talk through real quick, and then you guys can kind of intervene. but this window and the winter window are huge. There are legitimately some pieces on this team if you keep them and you don't sell them. In Viacia, Barrial, Brenner, um, Cameron, that are very good in this league. We've seen it. Like we saw Viacia took a ball, out dribbled 4 players calmly, and then distributed it as he should. Like that's a young center back.
Yeah, he kind of went.
Yeah, like boop, boop, boop. Yeah, like calmly, like I got this. You see Cameron do it every game where he just kind of lets the offensive player make the mistake, and then he distributes. So you've got some really phenomenal pieces. Atanga, like young kid, but like you see his assist a couple of weeks ago to Lucho was phenomenal. Like his ability is there. So you're realistically 2 to 3 players away from being a playoff team, in my opinion, and 3 to 4 players away from being a very competitive headache in this league. I don't want to give Stam a pass or a break. Like he is responsible for a lot of these mistakes, and I don't want to be like as Twitter said tonight or as social media said tonight. All this
apologies.
All the guys that are like backing him, this and that. Like I fault him absolutely. Like, but you got to walk before you run and run before you sprint. And with the roster he's been given, he's doing his best to walk. So I'll let you guys
got to execute, man. Guys got to execute.
You know,
it's like the conversation of, well, they need to possess more. He needs to tell them to possess more. He is like, unless he's lying in his interviews, he's telling the guys, I need you on the ball more. I need you to possess more. I need you to hold more of the game. I need you to control more of the game. So 1, either the players aren't capable of doing it. 2, he's lying. 3, they just don't listen to him. Or 4, he's not putting them in the correct positions to do so. That needs to be figured out now. Well, I know you mentioned the winter window. I don't think they have enough time for that. Like they don't have time. They've got to make moves now.
Well, they do now. You need now. 1 or 2 now and 1 or 2 in the winter.
Correct. But they need the 1 or 2 now to hit. And they've got to hit.
You can't miss. You need a stud. You need like a TAM player that people go, why isn't he a DP? And that's what you need.
You know what they need? They need a Jeff Cameron in the midfield.
Fuck yeah, they do.
Jeff Cameron,
100%. 100%.
Impact wise, not player profile wise, or
right. And that's the point, Travis. I don't think that it's about the money. It's about whether you're TAM, high TAM, low TAM, whatever. Give me a guy that knows the league. Give me a guy that produces. Give me a guy that commands respect, that can organize people around him, because we seem to have figured out the back line, the Gold Cup. Well, not really. The Gold Cup doesn't really play into it because honestly, when Cameron's in there, things are much more calmer. Matarrita does his thing, but I don't think Cameron's really putting Matarrita in the places that he needs to be, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. We still need, and Lucho, for as good as he is, Lucho is like just he's just let him go. He just let him go do his thing. So we still need to have somebody that's keeping the 2 holding midfielders, which is the way that Stam wants to play. And Kubo is not that guy. Cruz is not that guy. So we got to find that guy that can keep it organized in the middle, that can push up and help into the attack. I mean, they don't grow on trees, but at the same time, like
you're out there.
The deficiencies in this lineup are obvious. And I hope to God, because honestly, like I look back at this and I'm like, the reason we sign people at the end of every window is because like we have a hard time signing players, guys. Like, why would you want to come to this shit show, right?
Vermeer spoke to it. When they did his interview, he said, I wasn't right. I really didn't want to come here at first.
Right.
And they had to talk him into it.
Right. Until we get over that hump, which is, to your point, exactly why we need that player. We need someone to calm it down. We've got the wingers. We've got the people up front. It would be nice to have a holding forward. Doesn't have to be a world changer. We say Kai Kamara all the time. That's a guy that has been in the league for a million years. It's not like you need to get the next coming of, I don't even know.
Joseph Martinez.
Dennis Bergkamp, who I love. Joseph Martinez. Yeah. Put us out on a dream, but we need that midfield piece, and we need it now. We don't need it at the end of this window. That's where the pressure is. That, in my opinion, I agree with you. The pressure is squarely on Nijkamp more than Stam. He's got to get that guy, and he's got to get him in now, because if it wasn't obvious before this game, it's obvious now that we don't have the depth, and we need to get the none whatsoever. We become a very shitty team.
We become a FC Cincinnati of 2019 or 2020 real quick. Defensively, that was what we saw tonight. Offensively, we saw a few hustle plays and a few moments of brilliance, but like Harris's goal to start the game, like you've got Harris Medunian playing what, an 8? like pushing forward, kind of playing an attacking mid role, a second attacking mid role. Luckily, he's got the patience on the ball and like that kind of calmness to slot that home. But there's a ton of pressure on Nijkamp, and like, when's the window end, Adam? Like what, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks?
Yep. I think what is it, August 5th, right?
Yeah.
August 5th.
So 3 weeks.
And I think they're capable. Somebody on the stream asked if we were capable of making moves this window. We have one open senior roster spot.
One roster spot and plenty of time.
But that's for Van der Werf.
Unless Van der Werf comes back, which is questionable because I saw his picture today and he's sitting at a pool with his kids. But I don't think there's any intention of him coming back. I could be wrong, but that's my hope.
Would you take Van der Werf over Pedersen?
Yep.
Yeah. They're both internationals, both TAM players, right?
I think they're both equally useless.
Van der Werf has his green card now.
Oh yeah, Van der Werf has to save his green card, so he doesn't.
I got it now. I mean, yes, we are capable of making moves this window. If you look at the positions they want a center back, they want a midfielder, and they would like another attacker. That's, Gerard talks about needs and wants. They need a center back and a midfielder. They want also another attacker. You do 2 and 2 together. We hadn't seen Pedersen until we had to see him. He holds an international spot. Camo is nowhere to be found. He's healthy, but he's nowhere to be found. This was the perfect match for him. Need a controller at the 6. This was the perfect match for him, and he didn't see him at all. He didn't travel. Let's just go and talk about that really quick. Camo, Van der Werf, or Camo, Stanko, Cameron are not vaccinated. Zhao was also not vaccinated. I don't know when that changed. Likely this week. Zhao is not. It's not politics for Zhao. Zhao is a vegetarian. Apparently, he monitors everything that goes into his body. He doesn't get a flu shot. He, I believe, doesn't get any vaccines. Like, it's just the nature of him, not politics wise.
It's a slippery slope, man. When you start talking about, and I mentioned this earlier on Twitter, and Adam mentioned the same thing. Adam disappeared. But like, when you start talking about players' personal decisions and why they make them, like, personally, this is me, Travis, and I kind of hit on this earlier. Like, in our group chat, I don't want to speculate on that. That's not my role, man. Like,
right.
Like there's so many things in life. There's so many things like obviously the vaccination and COVID and all that is the hot button topic. It has been for the past 24 months. Will be for the next 12, maybe longer. We don't know. But I don't want to hit on why a player did or didn't do something. Right? There's words that I
politicize it.
Like, well, it's like, that's part of it. That's the low hanging fruit that people take.
100%.
That's the easy way out. But like, when did these athletes become above people, right? That they have decisions that they can make. We all do, right? And I just don't want to judge somebody for what they do off the field. Now, like if it's a Richard Sherman or Marcelo Zuna of different sports that like assault and battery against your wife, personal life bullshit, like you're getting arrested.
There's a difference between breaking the law.
Right.
There's a difference between breaking the law and taking a vaccine that is not required, whether you agree that it should be or not.
That's a little different. And that's something it's like for people to speculate and throw shade, and everybody's got a very passionate opinion on it. We've all dealt with bullshit for the past year. I don't know, man. Like I can't judge a player for that. I can't hold a grudge against a player for that, just being open-minded. And like, I don't even want to speculate if Jow is or isn't. Like, there's not much to gain there from that perspective. So I don't know, man. Like, I don't want to cut you off, and I don't want to say stop, but it's just not worth it, man. Like, it's a slippery slope. There's a reason why the club hasn't said anything. Like, I don't know, man. There's just not much to gain there. It's just my opinion. You continue if you want.
Well, I mean, personal choice, right? Like,
Yeah.
I also would like to know why MLB and NHL teams
Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter, but MLS's does. I don't know. It's just weird.
In a week's notice, in less than a week's notice. Like, why is this? I don't know. Did they? Like, and we use the NHL as an example, and right, only a few teams traveled in and out. But like, if Canada has very strict laws and rules and regulations, not even laws, but just rules and regulations on what you can and can't do, and it's vastly different from the United States, that's fine. Like, I respect that. But for a league that is 97% or 96% United States based, you can't just change the rules. If they can't play by the rules, that's fine. This is a 1 year, it's a one-off piece. Stay in Florida, right? As we thought we were doing a week ago. Stay in Florida. And that's, you can say it's an excuse or you're making a reason why we lost the match. I don't know. I look at it as Cameron would have to rest eventually. Stanko plays a role. You could arguably say Stanko isn't. He's a depth piece at very best, at least right now on this roster. So I don't know. Anything you guys want to add?
I got nothing. I know somebody asked about the chances of Tom Pedersen being sold.
Released?
Why would anybody want to buy him?
If I had to guess right now, you'll probably look at Camo and Pedersen out, and then two other players come in. If they don't plan on bringing Vanderwerf off the injured list, they'll bring in an attacker to fill that third open roster spot once they get rid of Camo and Tom Pedersen. He's got 2.5 weeks to do it. Unfortunately, I get this, you hear things, but then you get feelings. Like, I've heard they're close and they're working on deals and blah, 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 but you get this feeling that this might be the window that nothing happens. It just may not work out. So I don't know what happens from there at the fan base. So is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, status quo isn't necessarily anything anybody should expect. And I can be critical. We can be critical. We were critical before the last window when nothing was going on. And then when things finally started happening, we looked at it and said, okay, like, this is what we've been waiting for. We were frustrated with the amount of time that it took for it to happen. It's magnified when you're playing games in the middle of a window, right? So we can see we need. The problem with that, to your point, Travis, is a lot of times those players maybe aren't available. Maybe the right fit isn't there. Maybe the timing isn't right. We've kind of run into timing issues on transfers a couple of times. There has to be some improvement, even if it's just depth. There's got to be something done to this club during this window. If we stand pat, that would be a pretty big indictment of what I think is going to happen at the end of the year when the contracts of both of these guys, Yop and Gerard, are up. I think that tells me that neither one of them are coming back. That's my opinion on it.
Well, let's do this. We got a couple minutes left. I don't even think it's about finding the right piece at the right time. It's about making the right piece at the right time fit MLS roster rules, regulations, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Because, we got one senior spot, no international spots, TAM money to spend. But if you can't make all that work at the same time in a few weeks, you're up a creek without a paddle. Got about 3 minutes. You guys want to each do rants? We'll do a little rants, and it's probably a good way to end the night and get some shit off our chest and call it a day.
Sure, I'll go first. Not after every loss do we have to fire everyone. It's fucking annoying. Secondly, we have a lot of people blocked on Twitter now. It's also fucking annoying. Those people are all blocked for a reason by me. I'm tired of being annoyed. If you're blocked, it is what it is. Like, at one point or another, you pissed me off to the point where I blocked you. It takes a lot for me to block somebody. Usually, asking for Slack login info.
At least they took you out to lunch.
Right? Calling comms and those kind of things will get you blocked. If you have an issue with me blocking you, I haven't blocked you on all platforms. You can reach out to me. You can reschedule that lunch. I'm tired of the petty bullshit on social media. That also comes from some of us. So that conversation is going to be had because I'm a little bit fucking aggravated and I'm kind of tired of dealing with it. I'm really not in a great mood currently, mostly because of the match. Secondly, because I'm constantly dealing with bullshit on social media. Some of which is my fault, right? Whatever. But if you're that concerned about being blocked, like I didn't block you on Facebook. I don't even think we're friends on Facebook, but I'm easy to find on Facebook. You can write me a message, be like, hey, why am I blocked? And I'll just be like, because you're a douchebag.
Reality of it is, Travis, I don't block anybody. Let's chat.
Wise man said that blocking people is for cowards.
Nobody wants to, like, I'm not like, this isn't a challenge, but very few come at me because I don't know.
They'll lose.
I'm not gonna like stupid as a stupid does, man.
Let me go second.
Go
Nate.
ahead.
I gotta
Yeah.
because mine's gonna play off Travis. I got two things. One, I sent a tweet out earlier today calling out Clay. All right, and I gotta report back, or I gotta tweet back about how that wasn't cool and this, that, and the other. And my point is, he blocked me.
Who sent you that tweet?
Huh? Who sent me the reply?
Hold
on, I'll check.
We got a rant.
I think his name is Todd Graham. Was the guy?
That's a good dude. That's a good dude.
Yeah, he said, he told me I should grow up and I shouldn't do that. So here, my point was, I didn't ask to be blocked in the first place, and I never came at Clay directly anyway. So if somebody's going to put stuff out that's stupid and misinformed and doesn't have the right perspective, I'm going to call it out. If somebody's talking, just spewing bullshit that has a platform, I'm going to say something about it. If that offends you, I mean, you don't have to follow me. I get that. But I don't block people because, as a wise man, Kevin Wallace once said, blocking people is for cowards. You need to take it both ways. The second is this. I put a tweet out too about the goal that I think it was the fourth goal. God, I lost track. I said something like, yeah, it doesn't help when Joe Zhao heads it right to the other player. And the response I got was, blame it on the black guy. Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me? Who said that?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Fucking kidding? Who said that shit?
Who said that?
Hold on, I'll give you that one too.
That is.
Let's see. Oh, here it is. Oh, our boy Das Harks. There it is. Let's find it right there. When in doubt,
that's probably tongue in cheek.
Right.
That's a slippery slope.
That's still you don't tweet me something that says when in doubt, blame it on the black guy. Because I'll tell you, listen, I'll blame it on Joe Zhao. I'll blame one on Nick Hagland. All I'm saying is I don't care who sent it. It's just be careful what you do like on that kind of stuff, because again, the last thing I'm going to do is that's not even a place that I would.
That is such a fucking terrible take, man.
But that's the hard thing about Twitter, right? Because
it is, but it's not that hard.
It's
fucking hard.
It's a parody account. Why does anybody take anything that I say seriously?
When you say shit like that, man, like.
Right.
I mean, like you're right. Like, it's a slippery slope.
Right.
We all have opinions. We all have thoughts. We all, but like, there's things you don't fucking joke about.
You just don't joke about that.
There's things you don't fucking joke about.
I would love for Clay and Brian and Brad and all the guys at CST to block me, to unblock me, or reach out and say, hey, and come to a truce, because it's annoying having to get screenshots of the things they say so I can reply to it.
I don't know, man.
Well, okay, so and I'm going to end on this note because
Nate
hold on. Sorry, Nate. I have to say this because I get this feeling that like all these shots get taken at UA line, which is fine, totally take it in stride. But then like those same people that take the shots play the holier than thou thing.
Yeah,
guys. We also get screenshots of your private conversations. This is not just a one-way street. However, I choose to be a fucking adult and not post them online or make little subtle jabs. Again, I have to say this is not about Kevin Wallace. Like, again, not about Kevin Wallace.
I like Kevin. Kevin,
right?
Kevin's kind of gained a lot of respect from me.
Right, we butt heads. That's fine. Like, totally fine. But let's not pretend this doesn't go every which way. Like I also get text screenshots. I also have people that are in your Discords and in your Slack channels. And when shit's said, it gets sent to me. Most of the time, I don't have a problem with it. You'll catch me on a bad day where I'll approach somebody and be like, hey, like, come on, man. Come on. And that's just, you catch me on a bad day. Like, most of the time, I don't give a fuck. But it's like, everyone's always got something to say about us on Twitter, but like, play the whole year. I didn't do anything. You did. You got caught with your pants down thinking we got Joe Jow in an interview and we didn't, and you called comms on us. And then comms made you look stupid because they said we didn't grant them Joe Jow. And then you got fucking mad that you got made look stupid. Then you've got asking our Slack members for the Slack login when I would have given you the Slack login. And they immediately ran to me and told me, so, hey, let me play the game too. Then you look stupid again. Like, I'm sorry you guys keep looking stupid. That is not my problem. That is a you problem, not a me problem. I make myself look stupid all the time. I don't need somebody else to do it.
That's a fact.
So
Don't bring up
all the little petty bullshit, like, I'm so fucking over it. None of them have ever come to me and wanted to have a conversation person to person to hash anything out. No one has ever DM'd me and said, hey, you know, let's figure this out. Let's get a middle ground here. No, it's just little stupid keyboard warrior bullshit. And it's so fucking annoying. Like, and it's the same. And I'm going to be as vague as I possibly can. It is the same prototypical person that is in that little circle that everyone, I don't even have to say it. Most people already know who I'm talking about. And I'm not even saying specifically people-wise, but the type of person it is. It's the same type of person every time. It's that small ass minded person who's not fucking smart enough or doesn't have the balls to have a face-to-face conversation because their social skills are fucking shit. You guys see me in matches all the time. You see all of us in matches all the time. If you have that big of an issue with me, come have a conversation. Kevin has no problem getting in my DMs and having a conversation with me about how something's fucked up and I need to fix it. I've done what he has asked every time. Why? Because he had the respect to approach me and be like, hey, this is kind of screwed up. Can you figure this out? Yeah, I will. But no, I'm not going to if you're going to be a little fucking puss on social media all the time. Like, now you can just look like an idiot on your own. And that's all I have to say. I'm going to unblock everybody and I will give you 24 hours to hop in my DMs and we can have a thoughtful conversation about why I'm angry at you and why you really have no reason to be fucking pissy at us.
All right.
After the 24 hours, I will reblock you because I have no, like I said in the last podcast on my rant, I have no use for you. You're not important to me. You're not useful to me, which is why I normally don't even bring you up or take shots on social media. But the shit's fucking annoying. We are not in high school anymore. We are grown fucking men. If you have an issue, approach me at a match. And I'm sorry that I'm doing this on the after party. People want to hear about the match, but I'm so fucking sick of it. It's so annoying. Like, I graduated high school 14 years ago. That was high school shit. If you're still stuck in high school, go back to high school. Yeah, so parochial of you.
You boys want to let me finish?
It's been building, Travis. Yes, Nate. Hey, you got a rant?
Yeah, might as well.
How do you follow that?
I mean, sometimes, and this is the nicest way possible. Sometimes it's Travis ain't lying. And it really is. Like, it's not, you ain't lying, it's Travis ain't lying, but it's part of the brotherhood. To Travis's point, the social media flex, the club lets me suck their teeth flex, the I was here first because I was here in the USL days flex. Like, it's social media, guys. Like, it's that simple. Like, to as Travis said, like, come to me face to face in a match. Come talk to me. Like, I'll give Max Ellerby, I'll give him a huge shout. He tossed me a water after the last match. We're leaving, chanting for the full 90 versus Columbus. My voice is gone. Looked up at me, saw me, recognized me, tossed me a water. Like, little shit like that. Like, it's a respect thing. I don't know. It's so fucking comical. It really is. When you give somebody the power or a presence inadvertently through social media and through Twitter and this club, because it's grown so much through social media. It wouldn't be a big deal if the club didn't grow so much through it. But you give somebody a little bit of taste of power and it just goes to their head. I don't know. Like, Travis, I'm with you, buddy. Adam, I'm with you. Like, I will talk to anybody face to face. You can text me, call me, Kevin. You know, when you hit me up at 9 a.m. and Sunday morning, I probably don't want to talk to you, but I'm watching an F1 race, and have a nice day will die in infamy. But it's just so fucking childish. And the reality of it is, the time will come. The feeling of being threatened and crying to comms, the feeling of running to mom or dad will, that bullshit will come to an end at some point.
I fucking hope so. It's fucking
it will.
Like, God,
it will,
almighty.
because you can only hide for so long before the truth will let you free, right?
Yeah.
And that's that simple. So I'm not gonna take shots at anybody individually, or but what I will say, and I'll leave it on this, and you guys, we can call it a night if you want. Everybody else is chiming y'all. Everybody else is throwing shots. Everybody else is taking time to say this and that. Hey, man, no press is bad press.
That's true. That's true. I just, the last thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to get off here because I have things to do.
Go to bed.
Well, but yes, go to bed. But go to bed. I'm so tired of like the social media bullshit. Like, I want to take another break. Like, I'm just done. Like,
welcome back,
hate, buddy. Love hate.
Yeah, it's so fucking annoying. Like, can we just have like adult conversations face to face?
Nope.
Like, if not, then just fuck off forever. Like, just shut the fuck up forever. That's the last thing I'm going to say. If you can't have a conversation with me face to face, I'm not going to be an asshole face to face. We'll just talk. We'll hash things out. We'll shake hands and we'll walk away, and that'll be the end of it. If you don't have the intestinal or testicular fortitude or boobticular, if you're a woman,
is that just made up a word? But
I did, and I'm going to use it now. Then don't. Just don't even mention it. Just don't mention it ever. With that said, guys, I'm going to bed. Tonight's match was rough. We press on. I don't know that we're going to do an after party Wednesday with it being a home match weekday. I have work. I'm old. These guys might do it, but if you guys don't have anything else, I'm going to
live from the Tickle Wednesday night.
Right.
Live from the Tickle. All right, guys, everybody have a great evening. Even the ones I just said to fuck off forever. You as well have a great evening. Maybe not as great as mine, but have a great one.
Good evening.
I unblocked you. I unblocked you for 24 hours. You have the chance, since you really have things on your mind, to reach into the DMs, and I will DM you back, and we will have a conversation. If not, fuck off. All right, guys.